All rise. Judge Vanderbeek Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1039, White case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Mrs. White, what brings you here today?
Well, Judge Vonda.
Hold on tight, because we're diving straight into the courtroom drama. Mrs. White is back in front of Judge Vanda, but this time, she's got a request of her own. The judge acknowledges the complex past between her and Mr. White, who's present. Today, to discuss child support, a topic Mrs. White had once fought against. The tension builds as she openly admits her past mistakes, now acknowledging the karma she's faced, and stresses the need for financial help for their 2 children. A divorce, shifting roles, and new responsibilities make this case an emotional roller coaster. Will Mr. White step up to the plate, or is there more to this story than meets the eye?
Nice to see you again. You look beautiful.
Thank you. Nice to see you too. And it's interesting to see you sitting on this side.
Yes, well.
With Mr. White?
Yes, Damien is here today. He's finally back from building that bridge.
Right, but it's interesting that you're here making a request because the last time you were here, his ex-wife was making a request for child support and you gave her such a hard time.
Well, you know, back then I was so blinded by love and a bunch of other things, and now
Isn't that ironic?
$signs.
Yes, I believe that I have definitely learned my lesson and karma has definitely come around.
Okay, well you said it, but continue. What brings you here?
So I would like to request child support for our 2 beautiful children.
Okay.
I cannot send them to school on my own. I don't want to pull them out. You know, they have their friends and they're doing so well, and I would hate to make them change schools.
Okay, and you said that you're paying tuition?
Yeah.
Now things are getting real. Mr. White, the ex-husband, is forced to confront his past and current responsibilities. While he's been busy building his career, he's been absent from the court drama. However, Judge Vanda doesn't let him off the hook. She points out that he's the sole financial provider, while Mrs. White is scrambling to find work. On the easier, emotional back and forth escalates as Mr. White tries to downplay his ex-wife's financial struggles, accusing her of not pulling her weight. The judge stays calm, but can't ignore the tension, especially over the children's tuition. Will they find common ground, or will this financial standoff spiral out of control?
Yes.
Are you paying it, or is Mr. White paying it?
Well, when we were together, we were paying it. But, you know, now that I have to find a new job and to subsequent the money that I no longer have coming in, I need his help.
Okay. All right. And how much is tuition?
Tuition is about $5,000 a year per child.
Okay. Per year?
Yes.
Okay. This better be a pretty great school.
Yeah. It's connected to Yale and Harvard.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So, how was the bridge? Because you definitely didn't show up for court the last time.
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Okay. So I'm guessing everything went well.
I'm a civil engineer, Your Honor, and I was in Italy for a conference, not the building of the Bridge of Gibraltar.
Oh, okay.
You must have lied to
Well,
me.
she didn't know.
Apparently didn't know that there's a large step up from being housewife to employed.
Oh. I caught that. Continue.
So I'm currently...
Here's where things get sticky. The cost of tuition becomes the battleground. Mrs. White reveals the eye-watering $5,000 per child for their kids' school, but that's just the beginning. Mr. White tries to shift the focus to his contributions toward insurance, but Mrs. White fires back, stressing that it's tuition she's now responsible for as she looks for work. Accusations start flying, with Mr. White downplaying the situation and Mrs. White insisting that their children's education is at stake. The financial divide between them becomes even clearer. One parent feels the weight of it all, while the other struggles to keep up.
Paying the insurance for our children.
Okay. And how much is that?
$500?
$500. Okay. And that's for both children?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Continue.
Now, I don't understand exactly why my loving wife would think that in combination that we are paying for our children, considering I'm the only one that works. And quite frankly, she does not
Okay.
and only spends.
That's
Okay.
not true. That's not true.
Ma'am, he's speaking. Okay. So you guys are going through a divorce. She now is getting ready to work because she's not working yet, right?
From what I'm told, Your Honor, yes.
Okay. And this tuition, is it accurate what she said?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. That's a pretty expensive school, but I mean, if, you know, it has its affiliations, I definitely understand.
Mr. White starts to get defensive now. He insists he's the only one working, portraying himself as the victim of financial mismanagement. Mrs. White responds, saying she's not asking for a free pass, just her fair share. The tension in the room is thick, as Mr. White's harsh remarks only make matters worse. Both sides are digging in, and it's clear this isn't just about money anymore. It's about who's taking responsibility, who's to blame for the situation, and who will pay the price.
$500 for health insurance, and how many other children do you have?
Just the one other with my ex-wife.
Okay. And then you all have 2 together. All right. And I do have your child support amount. Giving you credit for the health insurance as well as credit for your other children. Your child support amount comes out to $1,391. Okay. Now let me explain to you how that affects you. You're definitely going to have to get a job.
Oh, I do have a job.
Well, you're definitely going to have to continue working that job, because if you notice, his child support is only about close to $1,400. You said tuition is about $5,000 a year per child.
Right.
So after he pays child support, he does not have to give you anything extra. You understand that?
Oh, I completely understand.
And you understand that you will be covering the difference.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you're okay with that?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Is there anything further? Sounds pretty straightforward to me.
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further?
Can I just let you know that I do have a legitimate job, okay? Like, I have my own hair care business. It's starting
I thought that was a question for me. Are you talking to him?
Well, I'm just letting both of you know that I do have a legitimate job.
Okay,
you
great.
know, and it's doing pretty
Congratulations.
well.
That is wonderful. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. If there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Here comes Judge Vonda with the hard facts. She doesn't mince words, pointing out that Mr. White has a legal duty to support his children, and no excuses will change that. The discussion moves to the numbers: child support, insurance, and those hefty tuition fees. The reality starts to set in as the judge lays down the law. Mr. White must face his financial obligations, and after child support is accounted for, he won't owe anything else. The judge is crystal clear he's got to step up. No more dodging responsibility.